Carrie with EDGEucating, keeping you on the cutting edge of education. Welcome back. So today's video is about student interest inventories. The use of student interest inventories by teachers and how to get that information from the students in multiple ways. The whole point of having a student interest inventory is to make your lessons more engaging. To make it something that the students are interested in, are excited to learn about, and gives them the understanding of what the real world application is for the lesson that you're teaching. EDGEucating is here to make sure that you have cutting edge strategies, ideas, and even products. So if you like our video, please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell so that you get notifications when we upload new things to help you in your classrooms. So let's jump in and learn about student interest inventories. So when you are planning that next lesson, that next activity, that next project, you really want to know how well your students are going to engage with that information. As you plan, you want to know as much as you can about your students so that you can incorporate the things that they're interested in, or even incorporate things that they are good at already. They may even have an interest in maybe a certain job. But if we don't know that information, we can't incorporate it into our regular day-to-day lessons. Last month, we posted a blog article about project-based learning. When you are planning a major project, all of the students are not going to do great in every single role of doing whatever project you've got planned. So doing a student interest inventory is a great way to understand exactly where your students are, either in information, skill level, or interest, or where they want to be, so that you can make sure that your lessons are really more specifically designed for them. As we have gone through the planning process of any lesson, we really want to engage the students in a way that shows them how it has a real world application. And through interest inventories, we can get that information. A lot of us, when we were in college and going through those methods classes and doing your student teaching, we did those formal paper and pencil student interest inventories. You came up with these boxed questions and you put it out there for all of the students, and they answered those questions, and then you put it on a shelf. I'm not talking about those kinds of interest inventories. Those kinds of interest inventories were to check a box for yourself and for your professor. The interest inventories I'm talking about are the things that you are truly going to look at to make sure that you are understanding your students. It could be a paper and pencil survey. That is perfectly fine. I'm not saying that those are bad. They are great if you are using them and if you are truly asking the questions that you want answers to. We have lots of online survey websites. There's SurveyMonkey, that's an easy one to do. Kahoot's another one. I found one that just recently, it was a new one that I never heard of, called Socrative, which I think that one's a great one. You really need to check that one out. Poll Everywhere, that one's more of a simple one. And then you can even just make a Google form. Ask the questions that you want the students to answer. It doesn't have to be what's your favorite color and what's your favorite sports team. You can ask questions that are more relevant to the topic that you are now planning a lesson for. Make sure your questions are something that are important to you in the planning process. And also things that you are going to incorporate into the lesson itself. You don't have to give one survey at the beginning of the year and never approach them again. Some surveys are really like a little pre-test, so you know what they already know about the content or what they want to know about the content. The survey does not have to be paper and pencil. It could be a brainstorming session that you have the students do in small groups and really pay attention to what's being said. It's the questions that are important when we're talking about a student interest inventory, and not the format that you use. I'm going to put in the description of this video links to the different online survey platforms. It doesn't matter which one you use. It matters that you do use it. I will also put in there a survey that I created for you on Google Forms. You just click on that link and you'll be able to make a copy of that survey for yourself and adjust it as you see fit. The next thing we're going to talk about is a little bit more difficult, but it's really the most important, and it's remaining culturally relevant. This is your own research. This is how you make connections with the students by making sure, go watch the movies that they're watching, read the books that they are reading, go to the websites that they're visiting. You have to understand what the students are talking about when they're talking to each other. Remaining culturally relevant is really a super important part of just making connections with your students, and it has nothing to do with talking to them. This is all your own research. New teachers, I know that you all have so much on your shoulders just learning the curriculum, but learning about what the students are talking about when they're talking to each other is really, really an important part of something that, so that you can talk to them about those same things, so that you can ask them about the video game that they're playing, about the sports that they are playing in the evenings when they're gone and doing their baseball or their football or their soccer or whatever it is that they're interested in. But also when you hear about these TikTok trends and you understand that Snapchat messages go away after 24 hours, you have to know about the culturally relevant things that are going on, and it's an ever-changing situation. I want to tell you a little story. I did a pep rally, and we did a competition just before testing between our students and our teachers, and it was sort of are you smarter than a fifth grader? But we the whole point of it was, are you smarter than your teacher? That's the way we set up this pep rally. But the questions that I came up with were all cultural relevance questions, because the kids weren't going to know, a lot of the trivia that teachers would, but I thought I was going to be able to trip up some of my teachers. But my veteran teachers, they knew the cultural references immediately. The kids, thought, oh, I've got this. I know about this video game or these characters in this movie or this anime, this, or it doesn't matter, fill in the blank. My teachers knew it. And my teachers had great relationships with the students. They were not going to watch anime just for the fun of it. Some of them may have, but the majority of those teachers were well over 50. And I know they just were not interested in that for themselves, but they were interested in it for their students. So an interest inventory does not have to be a paper and pencil questionnaire for your students. It's you also learning about what your students are interested in general. What song lyrics are they repeating? What dance moves are they doing when they're in line for the restroom? To understand those things is really the best way to connect with your students. And if you can incorporate that into any lesson, any activity, the students will be much more engaged. They will love to be able to put stuff down and know that you are referencing things that are part of their lives. And it's not just something that you have, from a book or from a worksheet. They will feel like part of the lesson, and that is what is going to make that lesson much more engaging and important to them. I hope you enjoyed our video today. Again, EDGEucating is here to keep you on the cutting edge of education. We talk about strategies, we talk about products, we talk about new ideas, And if you want those things to come straight to you, make sure you like our videos, subscribe, and hit that bell so that you get notifications. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.